Thank you so much for coming out tonight for another episode of the speaker series from Audrain Motorsport. This one's especially special to me. Judy's known me much longer than I've known her, since she started working with my father when I was a baby. So this, for me, this is extra special. We worked together when I started driving for BMW back in the day, and without further ado, I'll leave it to you two. Well, I made a rhyme. That must be my dad coming through again.
There it is.
Thank you very much, David, and thank you all for being here. This is a very special evening for me as well, because Judy is one of my favorite people in the automotive world, and it's quite funny because I met Judy a number of years ago back in Connecticut at the Fairfield County Concours, and like many, if not all, of the truly gifted and brilliant and special people that I've met, Judy revealed herself very, very slowly. She is somebody who's probably more accomplished than many of the people that I know, and yet never boasts about what she's done. When you find out what Judy has done, as you will tonight, you will be amazed, not because of what she's accomplished, because it'll be clear to everyone why and how she accomplished it all, but the fact that she has done so much and is so incredibly humble. And I think that is an amazing thing. Oh, look at her making that face. See, I told her I told her I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to say in my introduction, because I want you to blush spontaneously. So there was the spontaneous blush. Thank you very much, Judy. I appreciate that. I won't read Judy's entire bio. You have it there in your seats. But one of the things that is extraordinary about Judy's bio is the fact that she has done so much in the motorsports industry. And when David was talking about having Judy come and speak here, and we were talking about, well, how do we explain who Judy Stropus is? And I said, well, I think it was David that came up with the fact that, well, you know who Roger Penske and Mark Donohue and all these people are. Well, they know and knew Judy. And so everybody in the racing world knew and knows who Judy Stropus is, and what she has done and what she continues to do, which we'll also touch on here, because although she has received the highest honors, being in the Motorsport Hall of Fame, there's a ring, it was not at all a Lifetime Achievement Award, because Judy continues to work very, very hard in this business with the top names in the business to continue bringing the magic of what motorsport is and the automotive world is to as many people as she possibly can. And I am honored to know Judy. I'm going to put up an image. She has no idea what's coming next, and she's going to tell us what we're looking at. So pay attention to the screens, and let's get ready for these wonderful pictures from an extraordinary life. So this is one of my favorite of all time.
Oh. So we start right off with a cannonball run that I'm not a proponent of all-female race teams, or because I feel that we have reached that pinnacle. Back in the 70s, we dealt with women being allowed in the pits, and at Indy 500, that women were always allowed in the sports car scene. But this was meant to be a lark, because I never, ever thought that in 2022 that people would still be talking about something we did in the 70s that we did as a lark. That was crazy. So the Cannonball Run had been run a couple of years before that, and I said, you know, that'll be fun. Let me put together a team, and I'll just make it all girls. And Donna Mae Mims was racing a Sprite at the time, and she always had the phrase, think pink, and she was always dressed in pink. She had big blonde hair, and she was awesome, and she was winning. She won a national championship. And so I called her, and I said, let's do this crazy cannonball run from New York City to LA in the quickest time. But we crashed in Texas, and that was the end of that. And so we wrote a story in Car and Driver, and if you read Brock Yates's book about the cannonball, Donna Mae wrote her version, I wrote my version, and I didn't talk about the crash, but Donna Mae explained it all, and how the porta potty in the back got all over the place when she was laying. It was a hilarious story. And in the movie, the women we are depicted in the movie by two women in a Lamborghini instead of the Cadillac limousine, and Adrienne Barbeau played a loose version of my character. This is a lap chart.
A lap chart.
A short lap chart.
Right.
Because a 24-hour race lap chart would go all the way up to the end of the. But this is only a 40 lap race, and obviously Al Holbert won it. It looks like Mark was second. Number one, it might have been John Fitzpatrick. What year is this? 75, and it's in Road Atlanta. And so the circles are pit stops. The lines are when those 4 cars are on the lead lap, and those below the line are a lap down or more. And if I'm missing a car at the bottom, because it probably came in the pits and I haven't seen them yet leave, then I cross them off at the bottom when I see them come out. And you can see the staggered finish because they're all on different laps.
Right.
So, but that's a short race. That's probably an IMSA race. What does it say? Road Atlanta.
IMSA.
Yeah, IMSA GT. So this was Watkins Glen, and yeah, those cars are. So my friend John Oates. Oh, so I have to tell you my story about John Oates, Hall & Oates, if you know who that music group is. He's a car guy, and he raced. So we raced Renault Cup together at Lime Rock and a few other racetracks. We were racing Renault Cup. And I got to know him as John, guy I was racing with, and we'd rent cars together, we'd hang out together. We would just always be hanging out. And so we were at an IMSA race, and they had the ship that they took out 3 miles out from Miami so that people can party and gamble and whatever else. That was part of the promotion for the weekend. And I'm standing there with a friend of mine, and John is at the other end. He's waving, hey, Judy, hey, Judy. I go, hey, John, hey, John. My friend says, you know who that is? I said, that's John. I raced Renault Cup with him. He says, that's John Oates of Hall & Oates. I go, no. I had no idea. Many, many years later, 3 or 4, that particular time at Amelia Island is when I told John that story, and he says, that's probably why we got along so well. He's a good guy. Saw him this past weekend, too.
Yeah, he'll actually be here in Newport in a couple of weeks. He's doing a benefit concert for the museum.
Dunlop makes tires for little ladies who drive on Sunday. Sunday at Watkins Glen, Sunday at Daytona, Sunday at Riverside. Isn't that I think, and that was in the 70s.
Yeah, fantastic.
That was the most clever ad I think I mean, that's so clever.